We continue to track the latest from Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina is no longer in power. Bangladesh is under military rule. It's a country in flux. The violence has subsided, but tension still lingers in the air. The situation is precarious. The international airport in Dhaka was shut yesterday. Multiple airlines had cancelled flights. By this evening, some carriers resumed flying to Dhaka, but not everyone is free to leave. Two former ministers were detained at the airport. They served under Sheikh Hasina. They were trying to leave the country, they could not. Meanwhile, in Dhaka, the police and army are still patrolling the streets. Yesterday was the deadliest day of the protest. More than 100 people were killed in a single day. This was despite Sheikh Hasina's decision to step down. The rioting continued even after her resignation. So who were the victims and who were the perpetrators? Well, it's not clear yet. All that we can say for sure is this. There was major loss of life and public property. And what caused so much damage? Local media says it was a combination of police firing, mob violence and arson. There was widespread destruction. Clearly, the police and army failed to control the mob. The protesters stormed the parliament building. They set several police stations on fire. They also targeted multiple offices of the Awami League. That is the party of Sheikh Hasina, the Awami League. A mob torched a hotel yesterday in the Jessore district. It was owned by a leader of the Awami League. 24 people were burnt alive there. 24 people. Even important landmarks have not been spared, like the Bangabandhu Museum in Dhaka. It was set on fire by the mob. The museum was dedicated to Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He was Sheikh Hasina's father, the man who liberated Bangladesh, the country's founding father. Yesterday, he became a target for the angry mobs. At several locations across the country, statues of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman were vandalized. Many were even taken down. These are some of the most powerful images from Bangladesh. When a revered founding father is treated as a public enemy, it tells you how much has changed. Protesters were celebrating Sheikh Hasina's exit, but this celebration turned into vandalism and led to violence. Even the Prime Minister's official residence was not spared. We showed you these pictures yesterday. Apparently, Sheikh Hasina narrowly avoided these hooligans. Until yesterday morning, she was pushing the army. She wanted the generals to stand up to the protesters, use lethal force and crack down hard. That is what she wanted the army to do. But the army is said to have refused. They chose not to follow the Prime Minister's orders. They decided to not fire bullets on protesters. And that is when Sheikh Hasina ran out of options. She had no choice but to leave. Going by one claim, she had barely 45 minutes to leave Dhaka. She couldn't even pack a bag. That's how dangerous and close it was. Within minutes, the mob stormed her residence. It was really a narrow escape. They looted her belongings. They were spotted outside the Prime Minister's residence with furniture, with house plants, with her clothes, her saris, which apparently belonged to Sheikh Hasina, a Dior bag, even chickens. The focus is now on the army. The generals are in charge of Bangladesh. The president of the country has dissolved the parliament. His name is Mohammad Shahabuddin. Yesterday, he delivered a late-night address. Bangladeshi soldiers were standing behind him, as you can see, and it shows you who is pulling the strings here. Some key announcements were made. All protesters sitting in jails are being released. Even Khalida Zia has been freed. She's a former prime minister and an opposition leader. Khalida Zia has been an arch rival of Sheikh Hasina. The president said elections will be held as soon as possible, but the student protesters are not satisfied. They want someone else to be in charge.
We will form an interim government headed by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. Dr. Muhammad Yunus has also accepted this responsibility to protect the people of Bangladesh. We want to present this proposal to the president in the morning itself to form an interim government under the leadership of Dr. Muhammad Yunus.
They were talking about this man, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate. Yunus won the Peace Prize in 2006. This was for his micro-loans program in Bangladesh. It pulled millions of people out of poverty. The program earned him a nickname, the banker to the poor. Now, reports say he could serve as a chief advisor to the government. We'll tell you more about him later in the show. Meanwhile, the army met with the student protesters today. The Bangladeshi president was also present in this meeting. The army chief is the man in charge right now. His name is General Waqar-uz-Rahman. Yesterday, General Zaman promised an interim government. He is yet to announce who will lead this government, though. The decision should be made soon. Bangladesh needs new leadership as soon as possible, or it risks plunging into more chaos. We'll tell you why. Today, the Bangladeshi police went on strike. The strike was called by the Police Association. They are worried about their security, and it tells you how bad things are. The police are meant to secure people, to maintain law and order. But here, the police are worried about their own security and safety, and they are the ones who say that they need protection. You need effective leadership to steer Bangladesh out of this mess.
I expect the new government will run the country with honesty. Therefore, the people can live and sleep in peace. This is my only request and desire.
I think what has happened yesterday, the vandalism, it was not at all appreciated. The palace belongs to the people like us. We will have to pay for its reconstruction.
Can the army bring normalcy now? Or will they make a bad situation worse? The world is watching, including the Americans, who were unsparing in their criticism of Sheikh Hasina. Washington has issued a statement, and they've commented cautiously on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's exit.
We welcome the announcement of an interim government and urge any transition be conducted in accordance with Bangladesh's laws. Finally, we are deeply saddened about the reports of human rights abuses, casualties, and injuries over the weekend and past weeks. We share our deepest condolences with those who lost loved ones and those who are suffering.
Bangladesh is facing a significant challenge. It needs peace and stability, and for that, it needs a government that is effective and acceptable to all. Right now, their options do not look great.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to First Post America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.